So you're going to be coming down to lie on your back when you're ready. Just allow the palms to face upwards, moving the arms a little away from the body. Just letting the feet fall heavy so they just fall out to the side. Adjusting the body so you can be still. It feels comfortable, letting the eyes close. So just noticing how your natural breath feels. As you inhale, where does that breath drift to? And on your next inhale, just see if you can inhale that little bit deeper. And if it helps you, maybe it's counting that inhalation and the exhalation for a count of 4 or 5. Or maybe it just feels okay to notice the belly rising, the sensation. As you breathe in, that prana, that energy, that life force, that chi. And when prana is flowing freely, our mind is much more alert. We feel more calm, more peaceful. We have that natural feeling of well-being. And when our prana, that energy, is blocked or stagnant, we often feel quite fatigued, quite exhausted. We maybe have less focus, less mental clarity. We often can also feel quite anxious, quite stressed. And we lose that inner sense of calm. And we've all been there where we are rushing, breath is short. And we let those worries take over, that stress. So let's just breathe fully. Letting that sense of calmness just wash over you this morning. Taking 2 more breaths. When ready, just bring your legs together. Take an inhale and stretch the arms long behind you. Push your heels away so you're lengthening through the whole of the body. Feeling the chest and lungs expand as you stretch. And then as you exhale, just slowly bring the arms back down. From here, take a link into your fingers and bring your head into your hands. Your hands are under your head. Rest your elbows down to the ground. And let's start to take a walk with our legs over to our right side. So you're just shuffling the legs. Once there, maybe it feels good to cross the left leg over the right, going as far as you can. And then draw your right elbow down towards your right hip. So you're taking that side stretch into the left side. Like feel nice just to keep the eyes closed. Just notice if the body wants to go a little further, maybe bringing the legs a little more to the right or that elbow down. And then let's rest there, breathing up and down the left side. So as you take this practice this morning, taking that time to acknowledge and listen to the body, maybe also taking that time to listen and acknowledge the thoughts that come in, particularly anything that's giving you that inner guidance. When we slow down, we really can listen. And slowly make our way back to centre with both the legs and the arms. And then take that walk to the left side. Again, just as far as you can, feels good. Crossing the right maybe over the left, and then drawing the left elbow, shuffling the head and the arms towards that left side. Resting there, breathing down the right. And this is our hour practice, but of course you have the option to leave at 7. As much as possible for these next moments in your practice, I'd like you to just be fully present. So try not to let your mind wander into your day, into what you're doing after your class. Really just give yourself this space and this time. We're going to make our way back to centre, releasing the hands from underneath the head, and take a bend into your legs now. So bring the feet onto the mat, a little bit of distance, hip width apart, arms alongside you. Just tuck the tailbone slightly so that lower back is resting into the mat. We're going to bring our right heel on top of our left knee and draw the left knee in. So it's like a reclined pigeon pose. Maybe the hands around the left knee or under the thigh as you squeeze in. Maybe it feels good to release a little as you exhale. As you inhale, and squeeze in again as you exhale. Just a little bit of movement in the pose. Taking that last squeeze here, there's always that option to bring up the head as well. Just holding for a moment. And then bring your head back down to your mat if you did bring it up. Drop your left foot down as well, but keep your heel where it is. Arms are back alongside you. And we're just going to push up here like we do in our bridge pose. Plant the foot down, that left foot down, and push up and hold. You should feel that into your left hip, the glute, holding at the top. And then as you exhale, just slowly placing the spine back down. Bringing both feet now onto the mat, we're going to come into our regular bridge as we push up. Hips go high, arms can come up and behind us. or they can stay just as they are on the mat. Holding at the top in your bridge, squeezing the glutes. And then as you exhale, that slow lower back down. Really taking your time to place the spine onto your mat. Once there, we're going to bring our left heel on top of our right knee now. Draw that right knee in, take that squeeze. Maybe just noticing, is there any difference between the two sides? Again, that option to squeeze in a little further as you exhale and to release a little as you inhale. Noticing the breath. Are you still breathing fully into the belly? Taking that last squeeze in, maybe bringing up the head again, holding here. And then release the head, the leg, keeping the right foot on the mat, that left heel exactly where it is for now, arms alongside you. We're going to push back into that half bridge, pushing up, holding at the top, squeezing the glute. Pushing the whole of the right foot into your mat. And then on that exhale, that slow release down. Really keep that control. Take a bend back into the legs when you're ready, both feet on the mat. We're going to cactus the arms now, so we bend at the elbows, palms facing upwards. And our knees are going to be like the wipers on the car, just moving side to side. If you want to hold anywhere, then please do so. It's very much a personal practice, so you're always taking your own inner guidance. Everybody's journey is different. Everybody's body is different. I'm going to take a few more side to sides, unless you're taking that hold. When you feel ready, come back to center and just draw both knees in. So give yourself that squeeze, that hug. Again, maybe you like that movement again, side to side. Just noticing, listening, taking your time. Bring yourself over to one side. And then just very mindfully start to bring your body back up. We are going to come round onto hands and knees on our table. So bringing the hands under the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Let's stretch back with that left foot. Push the toes into your mat. So that left leg is straight and strong. We're then going to lift that left leg up and take the right arm long. So we're balancing. The gaze is down towards our mat. Feel strong in that left hand. Maybe that option to kick back and hold onto that left foot. Stretching a little deeper into the thigh, that knee, holding for a further breath. Release, dropping the right hand, left knee back down. Coming back to your table. Let's step back with the right foot, push the toes into your mat. So you're getting that stretch into the calf muscle. We then raise that right leg, hips stay in line, toes pointing down to the mat. We can stay where we are, sending that left arm long. We can kick back, maybe hold on to that foot as we stretch a little further. There's always options for every pose. There's no one size fits all. Take one more breath. And then release. From here, walk your hands towards the top of your mat. And then drop your forehead down to your mat, keeping the bottom high. So you should feel that into your chest and your arms. See if you can shuffle your fingers a little further. Maybe sit back a little deeper. And breathe. Breathe into the front of the body. Breathe into the shoulders, the upper back. Soften the toes, make sure there's no gripping of the toes. We're going to take one more breath. When you're ready, come back up. Hands back in line. Just draw your knees together, legs together. Step your hands slightly further forward. And we're going to lower down to our mat. So we bend at the elbows, like the elbows are glued to our ribs, coming all of the way down. From here, start to come up into cobra. So you might want to just shuffle your fingers a little further forward and then bring your elbows underneath your shoulders. So you're in that version of Sphinx pose. Stretching into the lower back, you might want to separate the feet a little, holding here. We're going to drop the chin down towards the chest and create a half semicircle. So you move the head over to the right shoulder. You drop back down towards the chest, and then you take the head over to the left. Now just keep this movement really slow. Moving left and right. Freeing up that neck, that space. Taking one more each side. Last one. And then making your way back to center. Come all the way down, back onto the belly. Send your arms alongside you. This time as you breathe in, bring up the chin, the chest, the arms, the legs. Squeeze and hold at the top. Engaging all of the muscles. Point the toes away. Holding like you're flying through the sky. Exhale, drop back down. We're going to do that 2 more times in your own time, rolling up, holding at the top, feeling that root chakra connect with the ground beneath you. We're very much in the earth element now as we transition into autumn. Exhale, come back down. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, rising up. Holding at the top, squeezing up the back muscles, the glutes, very good, and exhale down. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders, push yourself up and back in your own chosen child's pose. Whether you like the knees wide, knees together, arms long or arms alongside you, sit back to your heels. Forehead resting down. Take 3 long breaths here. Inhale into the belly. Making that softening, that releasing as you exhale. Taking 1 more breath. From here, we're going to come into a down dog. So just push back when you're ready. Pushing the heels down towards your mat. Send your gaze forward and step forward with your right foot. We are going to drop the left knee down. Relax the back toes. Let's come into a low lunge. Now release your hands down. Bring your right hand maybe onto your block. So right hand rests down on that block. And then we're going to draw the left arm up and take the left arm over towards the right. So you get that deep side stretch again. Very nice. Release that left arm, let go of your block. Just frame your right foot, bring both hands inside edge of that right foot and push back into your toes. So you send that leg long. We're going to take an opening here, bring the right hand up, take a twist, look up at that right hand. You can always drop your back knee if you need. Both hands each side of that right foot. Take a step back into your plank, lower down to your mat. Slow and controlled into your cobra or your up dog. And then exhale back into your down dog. Pushing back. We send our gaze forward as we step forward with that left foot, dropping the right knee down, low lunge, bringing up the arms. Reaching up and out of that waist. Release the hands down, grab your block for your left hand. And then take that inhale up, right hand, head over to your left side. Holding here. Release that right hand. Both hands inside edge now of that left foot. Push back into your right foot. Send your right foot long. And then open with that left arm. Taking that lovely twist. Maybe looking up. Frame your left foot. Take your vinyasa, so you step back into your plank, you lower down into your cobra as you rise and sit back into child's pose. So those of you that are leaving early, do take a moment here before you continue with your day. If you're able to continue on with the class, keep your hands exactly where they are. Roll back onto your knees, lower down to your mat, roll into your cobra and sit back to your heels. And we're going to take that wave-like movement 2 more times. Hands are glued to the mat. We come down, we bend at the elbows. We roll up and we sit back to the heels. Let's do that one more time. Slow, controlled, down to the mat. Rolling up and back to the heels. When you're ready, come back into your down dog. Pushing back. Inhaling in, exhaling out. We're going to take a walk towards our feet. We've got a little bit of distance in our feet. We're going to hold on to our elbows. Our head is going to feel heavy, like it's reaching down to the ground. And we're just going to take a little bit of movement side to side. Legs are straight, slight micro bend in those knees. Release the hands. Turn your feet out to the side of your mat. Walk them out a little bit and come down into your squat. I will turn so you can see me better. Don't be afraid to grab your block if you want it. Push your elbows into your inner legs and send your spine long. Yes. Holding here. Again, maybe being aware of that root chakra as it grounds into the earth. Bringing you back to that sense of balance. Take one more breath. Drop your hands back down to your mat. As you straighten your legs, turn your toes back in, your heels back in line. And then just shuffle the feet a little wider. We're going to keep the toes facing forward, maybe drop the head a little lower as you shuffle the legs wider. We're going to take a walk over to our right leg. Our hands can be behind the calf muscles, they can be on our block, on our mat, you decide. And we're just folding to that right side. Our right leg is straight. Making sure that breath is long, maybe delving a little deeper as you exhale. Now from here, bring your hands or fingertips back onto your mat and turn your right toes out to the corner of your mat. Take a bend back into that right knee and maybe bring off the toes of the left. Now maybe your block is here just to support you. You can also sit on your block if you need to, just sending those toes high. So don't be afraid to grab that block or even your bolster. Hands can come back to that heart center. We can sit a little deeper maybe. Yes, and we can be high as well. Listening to that body and what it's saying to you, what it's telling you. We're going to place the hands back down. We're going to push back into both legs so they're straight, toes pointing forwards. Let the head feel heavy again, going to the center of your mat, maybe bending at the elbows, looking behind you, looking at the world upside down. And then we take that walk, our hands head over to our left leg, we hold maybe, we use our block, we delve a little deeper. Taking that inhale in, that exhale, fold. 2 more breaths. We drop our hands or our fingertips down to our mat. We turn the left toes to the left corner of the mat. We sit down into that deep squat if we're coming down. Don't be afraid to be up as well. If we need to, we can be up here. So do listen, do grab your support if you want it. Pointing the toes up if you can. Holding. As we hold, we maybe start to uncover those layers of tension. Breathing through that challenge, and holding the pose. One more breath. From here, bring your hands back down, bring your toes back forward. Last forward fold here, dropping the head low. Bending those elbows back, spreading the feet like you're spreading the mat wide. Feeling the weight evenly. And then I'm going to get you to walk towards the top of your mat. So it might be your left foot if you're in the same direction as me. Turn, bend back into that leg and step back to your plank. And coming back into your plank pose. If you need to drop knees, do so. We are going to bend at the elbows, come all the way down to our belly. So resting back down, tummy to the mat. You're going to be sending your right arm out to the side. Palm is going to face down. Our chin is on the mat. And we're going to push into our left hand. So we roll onto our right hip and our right ear. Now you have that option of stacking the legs, or it feels quite nice to take that left leg back to the ground behind you. Deepening that twist, that stretch through the spine. Now obviously your right shoulder is going to be talking to you. So adjust this posture to what feels best. You're just letting the eyes close. See if you can breathe into the belly again. Or maybe sending that breath to that tightness that you can feel in this pose. Let's take 2 more breaths together here. And then take that very, very slow roll back onto your tummy. Bringing that right hand in. Just rest here for a moment in Makarasana, crocodile pose. So we stack the arms, we turn the toes out to the side of our mat and we rest our forehead down. So the chest is elevated. I'd like you just to absorb that right side, maybe just noticing the sensation from the right to the left. Makarasana, crocodile pose, is a lovely resting asana, so it can often be another option to child's pose or shavasana even. then start to release. We're going to send our left arm out, palm facing down, our chin is on the mat. Right hand now pushing us onto our left hip, left ear, maybe stacking the legs, maybe taking that right leg back. Really enjoying this twist and turn of our body. Closing the eyes. Breathing into anything you may be feeling. And take a few more breaths, and that you're going to be super ready for your day ahead. Ahead of all those others that have stayed in bed, not moving their body, and be feeling good, feeling ready. We're going to take one more breath here. And then slowly, slowly rolling back onto the tummy. Just bring your hands back under your shoulders, come back to your chosen child's pose, last child's pose here. So whether the arms are long or whether you prefer the arms alongside your legs. Sitting back to the heels. Taking one more breath. And then very slowly making your way back up. We are going to sit. If you have your bolster, then do grab it. You don't need it if you don't have one, don't worry. We are going to take the legs wide and then bring your bolster. It can also be a block just in front of you. It can also be a pillow. And then we're going to bring the soles of our feet onto that bolster or block or whatever we have to hand. We can also do this without any support. So once you're there, maybe you're going to bring your hands to the soles of your feet. Maybe you're going to grab your block or a blanket as well for your head as you rest down towards that support. So coming into our tortoise pose, rounding the back, lifting out of the lower back and resting there. Can be that we're just tucking the chin, holding, and that stretch into the groin, legs. Let's hold for 2 more breaths. Take that slow, slow release back up. Take your legs wide. You might want to sit on a low block or a small blanket. And then we're going to fold to that support. Maybe crossing the arms, resting the forehead down. Again, it can be done without support. We can use our elbows, rest our head in our hands. Taking that forward fold. And just letting this posture release any last mental tension. Any of those thoughts that didn't serve you from yesterday, last week, last month, anything that's lingering. Like you're giving the mind a massage, easing out those pockets of mental tension. If it is a reoccurring thought that's not serving, that keeps popping up, see if you can just change it now. What's the positive to that thought? Maybe changing it to positive affirmation, switching it around. And for this last few moments of breath, it feels quite nice to bring 2 thumbs into that third eye, or just into the top of the brow, in between, just to rest down here. Feels quite nice. You can bring the palms together, the thumbs into that groove at the top of the eye socket. Nice posture if you have any tension or headaches. Just resting here for a few breaths. And when you're ready, slowly release. We're going to keep either with our bolster, or it can be your yoga block. And if you are using your bolster, bring it widthways along your mat, towards the middle of your mat. We are going to be lying back on it. So have a bend into your legs. If you're using a block, don't worry, I will show you the block version as well. So we're going to roll back over our bolster, if that's what we're using. Just bring it so it's under your lower back, top of the glutes. So you need to kind of push yourself up to get it in place. If you don't have a bolster, you're going to come onto your back, push up into your bridge pose, and slide your block under your lower back. It can also be a rolled up mat or a rolled up pillow. So once you've got your block or your bolster in place, I'd like you to send your legs long on your mat. Now it might mean that you need to adjust your bolster, adjust your block, so it feels comfortable. There should be no pinching, no niggling. Now with your arms, maybe you'd like to take your arms long, stretching towards the back of the room, or maybe you prefer to bend and have cactus arms. You are going to decide. Once you're there, just close your eyes. Bring your awareness to the lower spine and that connection with the block or the bolster, whatever you're using. Coming back to that earth element, that root chakra, grounding down. We have that sense of grounding and connection with ourselves. It doesn't matter what life throws at us. We have that strong foundation. And this is really essential, really important. Your practice will give you this. Taking time in nature will give you this. Really taking that time for self-care. We're going to rest here for a few more breaths. When you're ready, just start to draw the knees in. You can bring your hands to your block or your bolster, or you can bring your hands to your knees and just help guide them towards the chest. Squeezing in. Then maybe start to send your heels high. So you're sending the legs long. Palms can be facing up, just resting on the ground as you hold your double leg raise. Imagine the soles of the feet reaching up to the sun above you, even if you can't visibly see it. It's drawing in that energy that you need for your day today. Maybe feeling that warmth, that heat, even that colour yellow flowing into the soles of the feet, travelling down the legs, moving through each chakra, the root, the sacral, solar plexus, the heart, the throat, the third eye, and the crown. So the whole body's just filling with this golden yellow light of energy. When you're ready, take that bend back into the legs, dropping one foot at a time to your mat. If you have a block, just push up into your bridge, remove your block. If you have a bolster, push up and just push it down your mat. You can keep your feet on it if you want to, or send it away from you. We are going to draw in the right knee, last squeeze in of that right knee. Take a circle through the ankle, one way, and then the other. Taking a last twist of the spine, we're going to send that right knee all the way to our left side, maybe onto support or to the ground. Relax your right arm, let it feel heavy. Maybe turning the gaze left, maybe turning the gaze right. Making your way back to centre. Let's send that right leg long now. Draw in the left knee, squeeze it in. Take that rotation through the foot, the ankle. And then guiding that knee over to your right side. Resting, holding. And then making your way back to centre. If you do have a bolster, You might like to bring it on top of you. We are coming into Shavasana now. It does feel quite nice to have the weight of the bolster on top of you, or maybe you're going to bring it under the legs. If you don't have a bolster, maybe grab a blanket, particularly as it's a cooler morning, or grab both. Just make yourself comfortable in Shavasana now. Adjusting the body so you don't need to move now. Finding that stillness, all important stillness. Bringing your awareness to your breath. I'd like you to take that inhale in once again for the count of 5. Pause at the top and then exhale for 5. Pause at the bottom and then inhale for 5. Just taking a few more breaths in this way. And on your next inhale, inhaling the mantra so, and exhaling the word hum. So inhaling so, exhaling hum. Letting go of your mantra and resting here. Starting to bring your awareness back to your surroundings now. Any sounds around you, the feel of the floor beneath you or your bolster on top of you. If you have your bolster in place, just move it off of the body now. Maybe drawing the knees in, taking that squeeze, that hug. Massage through the lower back, maybe that movement, that roll. And just slowly allow yourself to roll to your right side. Very slowly, starting to come back to seated. We're going to bring one hand on the belly, one hand on the heart, I'm going to chant our Om mantra just once. So you're going to feel that vibration of the mantra, that energy within. Let's inhale and begin. Bring your hands to your heart space. Thank yourself. Honour yourself, your practice today. And let's bow to Namaste. Namaste, everyone. Thank you.